Hey everybody, this is Trey Michael, and this is Food for Thought. I wanted to speak to you guys today about something that's been weighing heavy on me. I know life right now might be feeling like the world's crumbling in on top of you. I understand that right now you might don't know if you're going left or right. You don't know if you're feeling a little shaky, I know how it feels. Listen, you guys, my journey has not been much different than yours. I lived my entire life, 30-something years of my life, doing the same things over and over and over again, praying to God that I was going to get a different response. But the truth is, that is actually the textbook definition of insanity. What I challenge everyone today to do is to stop and to understand how your brain works. So I'm going to give it to you in the simplest form. And I've had to do a lot of studying on my own to kind of get my own version of this concept. You first have the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinking mind. It's the mind that most of us usually think about when we're discussing our mind. After your conscious mind, you have your unconscious mind. Now what the unconscious mind does is it takes all of the stimulus that you've had through your day, everything that you heard, everything that you spoke, everything that you felt, everything that you saw, and everything that you tasted. And it takes all of those and it processes them like a microcomputer. And what it does is the things that you've been fed the most of in that day, the things that you saw the most, the things that you heard the most, the things that you felt the most, the environment that you're in, the things that you continuously, repeatedly encountered and did that day. It takes those things and it processes it to the third mind. Now this third mind is a mind that you really need to be focused on a lot. It's the creator mind, also known as your subconscious mind. See, think about this. I want to show you the power of that subconscious mind and that process. I would like to show you guys the power of the subconscious mind. You have a 2-month-old baby. That baby, as of that point in time, has not developed its form of language. Its communications are a little shaky. If my child, being an African American baby, was taken away from me and placed into a household of Chinese speaking people, that child's mind would absorb through its 5 senses the foods that the Chinese family would feed them, the language that it will perceive in its hearing, its feeling, its vibrational field that it feels from whether it's a loving home or non-nurturing home. And what the child's unconscious mind will do will process those and will send it to the subconscious mind. Now in that subconscious mind, you'll hear that child, which will be my child, African American child, speaking Chinese as it grows. No one sat down and taught the child the human language or the Chinese language or the English language or the Spanish language. The brain or the mind does it on its own. See, when we were little kids, we used to watch these monkeys. The little monkey would say, "Speak no evil, see no evil, and hear no evil." The reason that it was expressing that to us was to tell us to guard our subconscious mind. Now, we can get deeper into what is the subconscious mind. How does the subconscious mind take things from thought and places it and creates it into this tangible, physical realm that we have? But I'll give you an example. There's a question, and it's from a book that I read, and I want to say that book was As a Man Thinketh. It said, how do you begin to build a house? I'm going to give everybody a moment for that one. You cannot begin to build a house until the entire house has been built. Now I know you guys are looking, and a few of you deep divers, I'm pretty sure you've already figured out what I'm saying. But for those of you that have not figured it out, let me explain. If I were to give you all of the materials to build whatever, I give you everything that you need to build but the blueprints, you would would sit down and you would look at all of the brick, all of the mortar. You have no earthly idea what it is that you're supposed to do with those things. See, that process of building that building started in the mind. The architect sat down and he had a vision in his mind of what it was that he wanted to have created. He knew of the floor layouts. He knew whether he wanted stucco or did he want wood. He knew if he wanted his foundation 3 foot above or 3 foot below. All of this process of building the home was started and finished in the mind. Now, after the mind thought it, then it was so. So what I'm trying to say to you guys today is simple. If you want to see in the physical realm a change in your life, the first simple thing we should start doing is reprogramming that subconscious mind through our 5 senses. What we eat, what we speak, what we hear, what we see, and what we feel. And now the feeling one I know is kind of like, what do you mean by feel? That means placing yourself in environments that are conducive to growth. Conducive to growth. You don't want to be in an environment that always has you tense and, having to watch your back or put your back to the wall. You want to be in a relaxing environment. And right now, I promise you guys, if you happen to just change up a few of those 5 senses that we continuously feed our soul with, because the subconscious mind is another way of saying the soul, baby, that I assure you guys that in the physical reality that you experience, you will begin to slowly but surely see the shift. You will slowly but surely see the change that you were so longing and hoping and waiting for. Now I know some of you guys are watching right now and you're saying, what does this guy know about his life probably has always been good, but it hasn't. I used to be something completely different than what I am today. Now the truth is, which is a long story, I once was this guy. And this is the actual me. This is the true trait. This is who I was born to be. Now the other guy, he was a creation of my senses. See, I watched the BETs and I wanted to be in the in crowds. But I always learned this as I got older. I learned this as I got older. The people who follow in the crowd, you are nothing more than the sheep. Now I'm speaking this from experience. I say to you guys, don't be the sheep, be the shepherd. And I understand it's lonely at the top. I used to hear those guys say that all the time, the rappers. They said that more money, more problems, it's lonely at the top. I think I kind of getting a grasp or the feel for what those guys are talking about. See, when you try your best to articulate your words, you're called a nerd. When you sit down with a smile and a peaceful demeanor, you're called weak. See, those things are a program of some subconscious mind. We understand these things through television. They're the ones that perpetrate it, which is television, which is telling lies to your vision. See, when you turn the station, they tell you you're turning the TV program. See, even through that process, you're being programmed. It's going from the conscious mind, it's perceiving it. It's sending that information to the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind rolls through it like a Rolodex, and it processes all 5 senses that you've been feeding it. And it sends it to the subconscious mind. And again, that subconscious mind is also known as the creator mind. And everything that goes into that subconscious mind comes back out into the physical manifestation of your reality. I just want you guys to try this, okay? Try changing what you listen to for 30 days. And if 30 days is too long, do a 7-day challenge. I'll give you an example of what I started with. My favorite rapper was Plies. I love to listen to Plies. And Future. Oh my God, I would jam Future all day. And the mentality or the feeling that I would manifest out into the personal reality was one of I'm a pimp, or I'm a don, or I'm a boss, or things of this nature. But none of them brought me prosperity. None of those feelings or those emotions, energy in motion, brought me happiness. It didn't teach me what rich was. I thought rich from hearing those things was money, instead of realizing I control happiness. I want you guys to do a test like I did. For 7 days, I took the advice of my daughter, Amaya. And she said, Daddy, why don't you try something different? And I was so low of a point that I said, you know what? I'll try anything. And I put on Coldplay. Coldplay. I want you guys to tune into that. Google it, research it, title it. Go look for Coldplay. And after 7 days of listening to Coldplay, I actually felt better inside of myself. See, what was happening was I was riding in the car listening to Coldplay, and it was rejuvenating the inner me. And again, the process went from the conscious mind. It heard Coldplay. It sent that information to the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind ran through that again like a program does. And it shot it to my subconscious mind. And from there, I was beating my chest and saying it feels good to live on this planet. If you strive as hard as we strive at our jobs, which is just another word for just over broke, if we strive and put that same effort that we put into a job that gets us nowhere, into ourselves, if we reinvested that time instead of creating another's dream, but taking that time to recreate our own dream, man, do you know how far we could go? We would be limitless. I just wanted to give you guys that for today, a little food for thought. And as I always say, namaste, namaste, namaste.